All right. Well, first off, good afternoon. We have Justin from the Indiana Drones here. Now, Justin, you're not really a one-man band per se, but you are doing a lot of heavy lifting on various instruments with the Indiana Drones. So, for my audience here, first off, welcome to Primetime Local News. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. The Indiana Drones is kind of something that I started in 2017. I put out a really kind of fast-paced like punk rock album, and it was something that I just recorded by myself in my basement. So I'd play like the drums and the bass and the guitars, and I wanted to call it something that would be understood that it was a band, that it wasn't just one person. There was no images of me that I would put out. It was just the album artwork. So I kind of wanted the illusion of it being a band, And then as it kind of I got a little more serious about it, the songs got a little bit more um digestible. I don't know, like a little bit more kind of pop centered or whatever. And the name just kind of stuck. And it doesn't particularly make a whole lot of sense now, but it is what it is. I still like it. I think it's a little silly, but it is what it is.
It's catchy. It is memorable. I think it's a great name. And now, just want to mention as well, you are from Windsor, Ontario. Just got to throw that out there, of course. And you have been compared to Green Day, Econoline Crush, maybe some Nine Inch Nails, and Panic at the Disco. But in your words, how do you describe your sound?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I I've gotten the Green Day thing forever. I grew up on Green Day, so there's just some of that is just always going to be kind of in my blood. No matter, you know, how unique I think I'm being, I feel like there's always a touch of my influence there. Um, but I don't try anymore to sound like I don't have a goal in mind when I'm writing. I kind of let it go, and it's kind of come to this kind of alternative rock kind of with a pop kind of crossover thing on its own. I don't really try to sound like any one thing, and I think that's probably a blessing and a curse because I feel like I make a lot of music that sounds pretty drastically different from song to song, and people have always told me that. And I've kind of learned to reroute that as a positive, as opposed to um, you know not having enough of a stamp or an original sound. I think I've just always been a bit of a chameleon in that way.
Awesome. Well, we're wrapping up 2022 here, and I got to see you with Billy Rafful and JJ Wild as a part of their tour recently. And 2022, I feel like was a big year for a lot of people coming back after, well, 2.5 years of not a lot of stuff going on. So, what were some of the highlights for you in 2022?
Definitely that tour. That was a lot of fun. I produced the EP that they did together, the Born to Die EP, and I played all the instruments on that record. And it was really honestly a big highlight for me was seeing it kind of come to life every night when they do it on stage. That was kind of fun to see what we had created in the studio be kind of recreated live on the stage. That was a highlight for sure.
That's really, really cool. Now, what is happening for you in 2023? What are in the books and what is on the horizon?
I'm gonna be touring a whole lot with Billy, and his band. I enjoy doing that. I've been producing his music as well. He's got a bunch of music coming out in the new year, and I have a lot of new music in the works, and I'm just trying to make sense of that and kind of I don't know, create some kind of interesting way to put it out as opposed to just here's a song, here's another song, here's another song. I kind of want to have a little bit more cohesion to it. So I've got some ideas floating around for that, but definitely a whole lot of new music.
Now, someone else, I love this song. I've had it on repeat for the last 2 weeks or so. It is so anthemic. And tell us a little bit about this song.
Um, I think I wrote that song in 2020. 2020, to be honest with you. I was kind of just, everyone was in lockdown, and I just would wake up and write and do that till I'd go to bed. And that one kind of came honestly from I'd play that song on piano. It kind of started as a piano song, and a lot of them do. They'll start either on the piano or just an acoustic guitar, and they'll just live that way until they decide kind of either how big or how small they want to be produced. So I tried that one, I think, in a couple different ways. And there is an acoustic version I have of it that I do, in the bars here in Windsor and stuff like that, still. But yeah, that one kind of, I loved it as a song. I would just sit there and play it on the piano or on the guitar, and from start to finish, I loved all the melodies and all the lyrics and everything. And that kind of rock version that is coming out is I don't know, that just happened. That's just kind of where I initially want to go with something. Like, I just want to make it have, distortion and big drums and energy and stuff. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And on that one, it worked. And I just kind of like, all right, this is the way that this is supposed to sound. So
It's so cool. Well, Justin, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. I really appreciate it.
thanks so much, Sarah. Thank you for having me.